Ryan, Jason Walker with Cache Valley Daily. You just tell us a little bit about what it means to be, bowl eligible for you guys, and not only bowl eligible, but doing that after a 1-4 start.
I think it means a lot. Definitely just kind of moves mountains for the program. Because I mean, obviously, off to a rough start with being 1-4. I've been on a lot of teams, and I know a lot of teams that definitely would have folded and ended up probably only really winning 3 games the rest of the season and stuff like that. So for us to kind of show that resilience and really get this thing turned around for Aggie Nation, that's huge for us. And then now it's going into Boise State. Hopefully, kind of putting a good product on field and hopefully being able to win that game. Now that'll just set us up going into things good for the bowl game.
Brian Alvarez from KBNU and Logan. I asked the coach about the game planning against San Jose. It seemed like the passing game was a little different, and I don't know if it was or not. It just seemed like you caught different routes or different opportunities than other games. Was it different? And it seemed to be more of like thinking of longer drives or more control and things with the offense. What did you see Saturday?
I mean, they were kind of playing their defensive scheme was a little more conservative. They were kind of just playing simple cover four, just trying to keep everything underneath. And then once we started kind of hitting them with the hook routes and stuff like that, I think opened up a little more of the vertical game because then the DB started to kind of flat foot on things, and then that's when we were able to start to run past them and stuff like that. So it was just, I think we just played with a lot of patience throughout the game, and then down the stretch, and when we needed it most, we were able to kind of hit them and gash them down a little deep. So that's kind of how things panned out. I wouldn't say that going into the game we knew that it was going to be a little different. That's just kind of how things unfolded.
Can you talk about the play where the pass kind of floated to you there late in the game that set it up? That play and what you were doing on that play or what you saw?
Yeah, so same kind of thing. I kind of have a little choice in where I'm able to go with the route, and then obviously that was being at the end of the game. DB just started kind of flat-footed, and we knew it was quarters coverage, and the safety was kind of playing low. So when the opportunity presented itself, our coaches were just letting me know, like, you do have the option to run past them if you want to. So I was able to slip inside and get free, and then Coop was able to put the ball up, and I was just glad we were able to complete it. So.
Brian Phillips, Big Blue USU Aggie News. You were kind of you seemed like you were a man on a mission Saturday night. You're breaking tackles, you're jumping over dudes. Like, were you playing with a little more maybe edge or attitude with it being senior night and your last game at the MAV and bowl eligibility on the line? Like, was this just read and react and I'm just going to do whatever and try to take everything to the house?
Yeah, I mean, that really was my mindset coming in, especially with it being my last game in Maverick Stadium. I knew kind of had to go out with a bang, and then with 2 games left in the season, counting San Jose, I didn't really want it to come down to Boise State for us to be bowl eligible or not. So I knew I had to do everything in my power, and then we had to do everything in our power kind of as a receiver room to just go out there and make the play every time the ball comes our way. And I feel like we did that for the most part, and then the result on the field was a great win. So that's kind of where things led.
Brian, Jason Turner from the Herald Journal. Boise hasn't given up a lot of passing yards this year, although BYU did kind of go off against them. So what have you seen from their secondary, and what's it going to take to be successful against those guys?
Oh, we know they're fast. They fly around. So I think overall, just executing our scheme. Like I said, we have a lot of different choices. Our coaches trust us with being in different areas as a receiver room. So, we're just going to make full speed decisions. Just make the defenders feel threatened every time we're on the field in terms of pushing vertical, showing them that we do have speed and stuff like that. And then I trust and know that Coop will put the ball in the right places, and it should lead to a productive day. So,
got another one for you, Brian. Have you been here long enough to understand or hear how much under the skin Boise State is to us? How we can't beat them or we have a tough time all these years? Have you heard enough about that already?
I heard about last year's game, but that's kind of it in terms of the history. I haven't heard a lot going back, so I'm very new to that. So
Brian, Jake Ellis, Utah Statesman. Is there some extra motivation? Obviously, you guys are out of the championship game, but Boise State's going to play in it, and they could become the champions. So is there some extra motivation trying to, beat them and just kind of prove like, hey, we could we were right there with the top of the conference.
Yeah, for sure. I think really, I guess the kind of motivation for most of the guys on the team comes from last year because obviously it was kind of an ugly game last year. Similar situation, playing them early morning game this week as well. So just coming into the game, kind of obviously I wasn't a part of that game last year, but I know what it meant to these guys. So really just going out there, putting it on the line, and we'll see what happens at the end of the day. So that's kind of where my mind's at in terms of things.